So I have a lot of disagreements with a lot of, I guess, American Christianity as a whole. Right. But I guess what I'm hearing you say, and back to the name of your show, the Atheist Experience, is that number one, you guys speak from your own personal experience and not for all other atheists.
That's true. A lot of people obviously identify with us because we get a lot of email thanking us, but we also get tons of email who are angry because they're atheists and we said something that they didn't like. Jen, who's here in the studio, often talks about anti-vaccination people as being sort of anti-science and foolish, and there are plenty of atheists who have that point of view and don't like to hear that.
Yeah, we get people in the atheists who are completely sold on the whole 9/11 conspiracy ideas.
But that actually kind of adds to my point, because some people could accuse us of being cult leaders or something, but the fact is there are a lot of people who would supposedly be on our side who think we're full of it, and we're okay with that.
Yeah. And what you said before about not taking a forceful position on things, I don't think there's anything wrong at all with having convictions, right?
Sure.
And being willing to defend them forcefully. But you should still retain an open mind and a willingness to hear the other guy's side and argue for it.
Well, like you said earlier, respect.
Yeah.
Right. I really do think it's about mutual respect. I mean, let's face it, nobody is ever going to listen to your argument if the best you can do is just argue with them,
or just when you're resorting to fallacies and getting angry and just
And I think this is my last question. I'll leave you guys with this.
Okay.
It sounds like you were saying some of the atheists get angry because you don't support their beliefs. Also, do you guys ever deal with a lot of cognitive dissonance in your movement, or it sounds like you yourselves live with open minds? I'm curious if, and I'm just saying if science were to, through this black hole creator, this atom smasher that they were building, everybody was afraid they were going to build a black hole that was going to suck up the earth, and if at some point scientists were able to dig deep enough or go far enough to actually prove or disprove God, and I would go with the latter. If they were actually able to prove God, you guys would take that into consideration and wouldn't suffer from the same cognitive dissonance that you expressed other people suffering from earlier, right?
Yeah, just because we're atheists doesn't mean that we're permanent atheists. I think we always say we're open to evidence. We don't expect any. I mean, we've been looking for it for a while and haven't seen it come in, but if some really good knockdown argument was made for the existence of God, I think it would be possible that some people would change their minds.
Right. Well, for example, one thing I usually say to people who ask me about ideas like the afterlife, right? Life after death. I tell them I'm all for it, right? Great idea. But again, I would rather, if there is none, or if there is no good evidence for one, I think that it is perhaps both emotionally and intellectually healthy to just accept the reality in which we live, accept that we are here but for a very short time, and so we have to make all of it count, and this is all we get, rather than just adopting a belief system that is really nothing more than sort of a shield over my fear of my mortality. And so that's, we're just not big on putting our ignorance on an altar and calling it faith, which a lot of religious people seem to do.
Very cool. I think I'd like to say I probably, as an Orthodox Christian, have a little bit more in common with you folks than I do with a lot of Protestants and Roman Catholics.
Right. Except for the God thing, but
we're glad of that, because I always say that as atheists, we're not here to make enemies of people. We would like to have as many people close to our sides, even if they disagree about the philosophical background.
Well, I think what's cool, and I think the other people listening can take heart from, is that you keep open minds. And I think that's the best for everybody.
Back at you.
All right? You guys have a great one. Bye-bye.
Thanks for your call, Charles.
Bye-bye.
Okay.